Hello there. It's time for your stretching and conditioning for your ballet class at home. I'm excited to get to have a chance to touch base with you all on this kind of stretch, and let's just get started. I'm going to move this chair for a sec because we're going to need that later. But the first stretch that I want you to keep in mind, you should always start with, is your straddle position against the wall. So whatever wall you choose to straddle against, make sure that you are trying to open your legs truly as much as they will go, so that you're warming up your hips. And then also you're trying to pull yourself as close to the wall as possible. You know that. So your knees also, keep in mind that they shouldn't be going straight up towards the ceiling. They should be trying to open towards the back. So as much as you can rotate in your leg to create this straddle position, as much as you can make that happen, the better. I'm not sure if my head was getting cut off, but I'm gonna try to come down a little bit just in case. Okay, so you're in your straddle position. You wanna hold that for a good 4 or 5 minutes, not counts. And in that position, you want to be pointing and flexing, alternating that, keeping in mind that as soon as you get where you feel like, okay, this stretch isn't really working for me anymore, that you're pulling yourself closer to the wall. For those of you that can pull yourself all the way to the wall, I would say get something like those yoga blocks, or like for me, I have these pillows. You can put your foot up on a small pillow like this when you're in that straddle, and then that, of course, that lifts your leg up and that gives you a good stretch. Okay, another stretch I want you to do after you've done your straddle for about 5 minutes is a stretch that will help you with your right and left split and keeping your hips square. Remember that we had this challenge last year about getting a little bit lower in our split each day or each week, and that I had given y'all a banana split ice cream party for those of you that really made your split get a little bit better. So that was a fun challenge last year. Keep that in mind, that you're trying to get into a better position for your split while keeping your hips square. The reason you're trying to keep your hips square is because that is the best position to be in order to really get a true stretch all the way up those muscles in your hamstrings, up that muscle group. And when we just open ourselves to get into that split and we let one hip get in front of the other, you're still getting a good stretch, but as you pull yourself back into a square position, you're gonna feel some of your muscles and your legs really lengthening and getting a better stretch. So you're here, and you, of course, keep yourself square, let yourself slide all the way into your split, and hold that position. You can go right side and left side, each side holding as long as you think is necessary. 16 counts. I can challenge you to do 32 counts on each leg, and then go ahead and be done with that. And take this next opportunity, or this next stretch, as an opportunity to go even further on that. I'm going to use this chair. As you can see, this chair has some bars here that I can use to place my foot. If you can find a chair like that, that's awesome. If you can't, maybe you can just pile some books one on another and take your stretch this way. I like to use a chair because then I have something to hold on to and to give me some kind of stability as I try to pull myself lower and lower. Okay, as I pull myself lower and lower, I also want to lengthen my body, make sure that I'm trying to lengthen my spine, keep everything nice and long through the torso as I come over. And I hold my 16 counts or my 32 counts, and then come up and do the other leg. I wanted to show you, as I turn my chair around, that of course you can go higher, keeping in mind that if you're going to take your leg higher than your hip, that you don't want your hips to change in the position. Always keeping in mind these are ballet stretches, so you're trying to keep yourself very square. So I take my leg and put it on my chair, hold my position, take myself forward, trying to lengthen as I go over, folding myself over my leg and holding my 16 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You should be able to get a little bit lower or a little bit closer to your leg each time. Okay, and then of course I would do my other leg. I'm using a pillow for my knee just because I would rather not have my knee right up against the wood floor because that can kind of hurt sometimes. The pressure of that and the weight of your body kind of hurts your knee. So you can also take a little bit of like, maybe you could use a towel or maybe you could use a knee pad. All right, here we go. So we go to the other side and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. Another exercise that you're going to want to do, so that was of course to the devant position. You want to open and do your a la seconde position, and then you can also even do your arabesque position. I'm going to go ahead and take my time to show you from 5th position. I'm sorry if my head just got caught off. I hope it didn't. Okay, so you're just going to développé. Find your center and open, and then place your foot on your chair. If you have a higher chair, that's even all the better. Take yourself to stretch, lengthening your torso as you go over. Keep your hips square. Don't let this hip pull away from the chair, but rather keep yourself square and pull up and over your leg. And recover. You can play some soft, pretty music for this. You want to lift your leg up off the chair, take your passe and close 5th to finish that exercise, okay? And you're going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so you want to do that also in arabesque position, taking your port de bras front and opening it to second while your leg is behind you in arabesque and on your chair. So you're going to passe and take your leg behind you and place it on your chair so you would be facing this way. Okay? The next part of your stretching and conditioning that I would want you to do before you start your ballet bar work, or you can do all of these stretches at the end of a ballet class, is I want you to do relevés. I want you to challenge yourself to do 64 relevés in first, 64 relevés in second, and then 32 relevés on the right foot with your left foot in coupe, and then switch for another 32 on the left foot. Okay, let's get started. What's nice about stretching and conditioning in ballet is you don't absolutely have to have ballet music on. You can play some music in the background that is your favorite music and just go to the tempo of that piece of music. Keep in mind when you're in first position, girls, that I do want you to focus on going straight up and resisting as you come down. Of course, you would think, well, of course we're gonna go straight up. Why would she say that? Don't forget the ankles. It's that sometimes we don't go straight up. Sometimes we let our ankles push back. If your ankles push back a little bit because that is the way that you actually hold your foot, that is the formation of your foot, that's okay. Just keep in mind that you're always trying to push the inside of the heel forward and that you're rotating in your hips so that everything is staying pulled up and turned out. So I said 64, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on to 64, and then balance. course, since this is a video, you can pause your video and go ahead and do all 64. Then do it in second position, same idea, same correction with the ankles. Keep your core really nice and tight, keep your posture very, very pulled up, and then you're gonna do it in coupe. Remember the position of the coupe. You can also do it in front and in back. So, let's see here, let me do this. Press up. Change my weight to the right foot. Try to keep in mind my turnout, my rotation in both legs so that I have a beautiful position. And I try to remember too that my coupe position, the inside of my heel is touching the bottom of my calf muscle. And I'm pointing my foot straight in line with the rest of my leg so that I'm not letting my toe sickle. Keep that in mind the whole time. And I said we were going to do 32. So this is like 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on to 32. Check your balance. Close to 5th. Plie. And take the other side. Notice I keep moving my chair so that my chair is the center of my body, is right in line with me. I don't want to be leaning over like this. That would not make sense. Press up. Take over to your left foot. And start again the 32 rises. Make sure your foot is in the right position. Don't let it be too low. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and all the way to 32. After releves like that, your calf muscles are really going to burn, so you're going to want to stretch your calf muscles. Make sure you do that. Also make sure that if you get to like, I don't know, 24, and your calf muscle is really burning and you just can't do anymore, then stop and stretch your legs out and then continue to do the last 8. Because there's nothing wrong with breaking it up as long as you're always doing it in correct technique. You don't want your ankles to start to change the way they're holding you. And then, of course, develop a bad habit of like putting your foot in a position where you're almost sickled or your heel, as you know, or your ankle, as you know, is pushing back. You don't want that. Okay, so I'm done stretching my calf muscles after that exercise. And that's about it for right now. That stretching 10 minutes or 12 minutes, however long I took to show you all those exercises, is going to be great for y'all to do 2 times a week for sure. If you can do it 3 and 4 times a week, that's even all the better. You're just keeping your legs working. You're keeping a good, a workout opportunity for the legs to stay strong, and we don't want any weaknesses to take place while we are in this situation where we are dancing from home. I'm anxious to see y'all back in the studio as soon as that can happen. But for now, we'll do it this way. I think Miss Lori is awesome for coming up with these ideas to send y'all videos. And we're so lucky that she is our leader and that she wants us to be sure that we don't quit doing what we love to do. And I hope you all are well in your homes and that you're staying safe. All right, guys, I miss you.